Once a land of isolated warlords, Japan today stands as one of the most technologically advanced nations on Earth. But the journey from a fragmented feudal society to a futuristic powerhouse was anything but simple. It is a story of conquest, destruction, and breathtaking rebirth. A story of reinvention against impossible odds. To understand how modern Japan was born, we must travel back to a very different time. Long before the neon lights of Tokyo and the speed of bullet trains, Japan was a land of feudal rule. For centuries, power was divided among countless regional lords, called daimyo, who ruled their lands with armies of loyal samurai. Battles between these clans were endless. Honor and loyalty dictated life. The sword was law. And while the emperor remained a divine figure, true authority lay in the hands of whoever held military power. In the late 12th century, a warrior named Minamoto no Yoritomo seized that power, becoming Japan's first shogun. His rule marked the beginning of a new order, the shogunate, a system where the emperor reigned, but the shogun ruled. For the next 700 years, Japan would be torn apart by rival clans vying for supremacy. Among them, names like Oda Nobunaga, Toyotomi Hideyoshi, and Tokugawa Ieyasu would rise. Through ruthless campaigns, they fought to unify the land. And by the early 17th century, the Tokugawa clan emerged victorious. In 1603, Tokugawa Ieyasu established the Tokugawa Shogunate, ushering in over 250 years of peace and stability known as the Edo period. Japan closed its doors to the outside world. Foreigners were expelled, Christianity was banned, and strict control was placed on every aspect of life. The country became an island unto itself, frozen in time, while the rest of the world marched into the modern age. During this era, Japanese culture blossomed. Art, poetry, and theater flourished. The samurai upheld a strict code of conduct called Bushido, emphasizing loyalty, discipline, and honor unto death. But while Japan mastered tradition, it fell behind in technology. The industrial revolutions sweeping Europe and America passed it by. For 2 centuries, Japan remained isolated, until one day, the world came crashing to its shores. In 1853, 4 American warships, black with smoke, armed with cannons, sailed into Tokyo Bay. Led by Commodore Matthew Perry, the Americans demanded that Japan open its ports to trade, or be opened by force. The Japanese had never seen ships like these. They called them the Black Ships. Faced with the overwhelming power of Western military technology, Japan had no choice. Reluctantly, it signed treaties, opened ports, and ended its isolation. The Tokugawa Shogunate, weakened by internal unrest and external humiliation, soon collapsed. In 1868, the emperor was restored to supreme power in an event known as the Meiji Restoration. The young Emperor Meiji recognized that if Japan wished to survive, it could not merely imitate the West, it must become its equal. A revolution began. Feudal domains were abolished. The samurai class, proud, fierce, ancient, was dissolved. Modern schools were built. Western science, industry, and military practices were adopted with astonishing speed. In just a few decades, Japan transformed itself from a medieval backwater into an industrialized nation. Railroads stitched together distant regions. Factories hummed with production. A modern army and navy stood ready to defend Japan's interests. But the thirst for power did not stop at Japan's shores. As the 20th century dawned, Japan sought to become an empire in its own right. It defeated China in the First Sino-Japanese War. It shocked the world by defeating Russia, a major European power, in the Russo-Japanese War of 1904 to 19 1905. For the first time in modern history, an Asian nation had humbled a Western one. Japan's rising sun was now impossible to ignore. Yet the victories planted the seeds of future catastrophe. Driven by militarism and imperial ambition, Japan expanded aggressively into Asia. It invaded Manchuria, waged brutal war in China, and ultimately entered into conflict with the United States and its allies. On December 7, 1941, Japanese forces attacked the American naval base at Pearl Harbor. The United States declared war. World War II became a nightmare for Japan. For 4 bloody years, the nation fought desperately across the Pacific, but American forces pushed ever closer to the Japanese mainland. In August 1945, the United States unleashed a new and terrible weapon. The cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki were annihilated by atomic bombs. Hundreds of thousands died. The devastation was total. On August 15, 1945, Emperor Hirohito announced Japan's surrender. The old empire was gone. The country lay in ruins. But from the ashes of defeat, Japan would once again reinvent itself. Under American occupation, Japan was rebuilt. Its military was dismantled. Its constitution renounced war forever. ANE